This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
The question becomes, were they looking for a particular dog's progeny or weren't they?
They may have been, but I agreed to give them a...
Hold on. I'm in the middle of a sentence.
Right.
Did I breathe and give you the impression I was done?
These are the plaintiffs, Paula and Neil O'Rourke. Paula says they were in the market for a dog, an Airedale to be exact, and they found the defendant on the internet. They paid him for a puppy they were led to believe was born already, but came to find out the mother and all the puppies died during birth. The defendant now refuses to return their money and keeps telling them the only thing he owes them is a dog. They lost faith in him as a breeder and as a human being and are suing him for $1,200, the amount they paid. This is the defendant, Philip Sava. He says he's been breeding Airedales for 25 years and told the plaintiffs if they prepaid, he'd knock $300 off the price and they'd be next in line after one of his 2 pregnant dogs gave birth. Unfortunately, one of the moms died along with the puppies, and once the plaintiffs found out, they demanded their money back. He was ready and willing and able to give her a puppy from another mother, and that's all he's required to do. He's accused of pooping out on a puppy. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for slander and emotional distress.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Paula and Neil O'Rourke?
Yes.
You are suing Philip Sava for $1,200, money that you paid to him to purchase how do you pronounce the name of that?
Airedale.
Airedale. That you feel he needs to return to you. You have a counterclaim against him for $5,000 for slander and emotional distress. Okay, what's going on?
Well, our older son, Patrick, has asthma and allergies, and the boys wanted a dog, so Patrick started doing research to see what type of dog that didn't shed. So Patrick began researching online and found many websites with Mr. Sava advertising. And so after he did the research, then we contacted Mr. Sava and visited the dogs. And we were impressed with, he demonstrated skills that he had done some training with Cloud9.
Cloud9 is the name of the dog.
Yes,
Right.
no, yeah.
And she was currently pregnant, and he demonstrated all the training that he had done with her. We were impressed. He used our children to demonstrate the training. It looked like a type of breed that would fit our needs.
What he showed us was impressive.
Okay.
Yeah. So we weren't planning originally to leave a deposit that day, but he said that it was first come, first serve. We expressed an interest for a female, so he said if we gave him a cash deposit or any deposit that day and then sent him the remaining of the money as soon as possible, he would give us $300 off, and then we were second on the list, so we were pretty much guaranteed to get a female, but definitely a dog from that, right? But definitely a puppy from Cloud9. And so we did that. We left a deposit. $100 cash deposit. And then I kept in contact with him through voice.
What day did you leave the $100 deposit?
It was November 20th.
Okay.
It was a Sunday.
And then you sent the remaining $1,100 when?
We sent it on November 22nd.
Okay.
So then we knew we were set.
So the Cloud9 was due to give birth when?
Originally, he told us January 3rd, so in the
Now, is there any paperwork that you guys signed that day when you put the $100 deposit?
We did not sign
Okay,
paperwork
so go
that
on.
day.
He did have a notebook that he did write down that he received the $100 from us.
And we have a voicemail also.
Okay, so but just talk to me then, when did you expect that the dog was going to be born?
Originally January 3rd, so I emailed him to see, I emailed him throughout to see how Cloud9 was doing with her pregnancy and that everything was going along and that.
And I imagine the boys are all excited.
Yes,
The
they
whole
were
family's
talking-
excited. They're going to get their first dog.
Right.
Okay.
The boys were talking about it at school daily to their teachers and their friends. But so when I emailed him on or about January 3rd, he said he made a mistake. The dogs were going to be born the 10th. So then I emailed him again on the 14th and said, how did the delivery go? How many pups with Cloud9? I specifically said Cloud9. And how many pups were actually born. And he responded, 2 female and 2 male. It's all in the emails. So then I said we would be contacting him shortly to see when we could visit. So he sent me a return email with another dog that was pregnant without a name attached. There's a picture in with this email showing another dog that's pregnant, but it's unnamed. It just says mom, and it says, hoping pups will be born tonight, tomorrow. Mom taken today. And I got nauseous thinking, what happened here? This
What
is a
happened to the
week
pups that were
after.
born a
Or
week
there were
ago?
born, there were 2 males and 2 female.
Right.
So what do you do?
And I called him, and when he answered right away, and he said, that's when he told me that Cloud9 and all her pups actually died shortly after birth. I'm not sure if it was,
Do you know
think it was
how
the
or
next
what?
day. What he told me was that he didn't know that Cloud9 had a 5th puppy that was stillborn. And because of that, the dog went into shock. He didn't know it. The dog was acting funny. The next morning, the dog was unable to stand and walk. So he told me that he rushed it to the vet, but they were unable to save the dog. And then the puppies without their mother were unable to survive.
Oh, how sad. Oh,
So I
is that
became
accurate? Is that what happened?
Accurate.
How long have you been breeding them?
Probably at least 25 years, since 19...
So how many litters? I mean, you're very experienced at this.
I've been doing this for 25 years. I've never seen a breech birth. That was the first one I saw. And the second dog that she's referring to, I have more information on that, and I do have a written agreement that she sent with the check, the $1,100 check, which is right
so
here.
according to you, she did sign something?
Oh, yes,
May I see what she signed?
sure.
Okay, this isn't a contract, though. This is a letter
And I would like
she
to just
sent.
correct one thing.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Okay, this is a letter that says, "Hi, Philip. Please find and close our balance of $1,100. Our family is very excited about getting one of your puppies. We enjoyed visiting on Sunday. Thank you for spending your time with us and sharing so much valuable information." That's not a contract. That's a letter
Okay.
that she sent.
Well, that's her letter.
You're
of
saying, I guess
that
what
was
you're
our
trying.
understanding.
So what you're
Oral,
trying.
verbal, and she copied it
Hold on.
there. And that's how I
Mr.
looked
Sava,
at it.
don't yell at me. Hold on. one
Okay, I'm
second.
sorry.
So what you're saying is, Judge, look at this. This doesn't say anything about Cloud9. Is that why you're saying that to me?
Yes, and we do that with
Okay.
all of the people. I have other
All right,
examples
let me
of,
see all of your emails.
and
All
I
right.
do have the puppy I offered
Do you
her.
have a contract that she signed?
No.
Okay. So when you lose Cloud9, how many puppies did Cloud9 have?
She had 10 puppies.
And were all those 10 puppies
All
spoken
10 puppies
for?
were lost. Four managed to survive after the mother died. We tried to keep them alive, and we were just unsuccessful. It was
How
just,
do you keep a puppy so young alive?
you have to hand feed it every 2 to 3 hours.
Oh.
And it's very easy for the puppy to aspirate, and I had forensic evaluations done, and what it was they said it was the equivalent of SIDS, which is they don't really know. The dog suffered some shock, probably from the mother having the problems, and then not having a mother, and the puppies died like within 2 days.
It's such a shame. And how many of those were sold?
Well, there was no particular puppy sold. I keep a book.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking
How
you
many deposits did I have at the
Yeah,
time?
for Cloud9's puppies.
Way too many. I had about 6.
So you must have lost a lot of money.
Yes, well, I had 2 dogs. I've had this, I know how people get about their puppies, as you explained, with the children looking forward to it and everything, but there is also the 15-year period that they own the dog. And they're not always thinking about that at the moment they come to me, but I am.
But that's fine, but
as far as
the
I go-
question becomes, were they looking for a particular dog's progeny, or weren't they? And
They may have been, but I agreed to give them
Hold on. I'm in the middle of a sentence.
Sorry.
Did I breathe and give you the impression I was done? Okay. And from the very get-go of the series of messages that go back and forth between you folks, the subject is Ray Cloud9's pups. You know that, right? You've looked at your emails.
She asked for Cloud9's pups.
Okay, so if she asks for Cloud9's pups from the beginning, plays with Cloud9, not the other pup, and puts a deposit for Cloud9's progeny because Cloud9 has a good personality, is so trainable, and in every single email says, wanted to check how Cloud9 is doing with her pregnancy, reference Cloud9. How is it that you're gonna look at me and tell me that she wasn't buying Cloud9's pups?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So is the plaintiff entitled to a refund? The plaintiff wanted a puppy from a specific mother.
I feel the plaintiff should get a refund.
Because?
Because she wanted it from that specific animal.
Yeah, but the defendant's saying, look, I'm going to give you a great puppy. I have nothing but good dogs here.
But she specifically wanted it for that one dog, so I would want my refund.
You agree?
Yes.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
I never agreed to
Okay, now
Cloud9.
show me what says, I'm not telling you who the mother of your dog is going to be.
Well-
Show me your paperwork that says you take whatever you get what you get and you don't get upset. You don't get the particular dog. When every single email of yours is telling her you're going to give her the puppies of this dog. I mean, I'm sorry that this ended up happening, but that doesn't mean that you get to pass that off on them. And if they don't want to take the other dog, and you don't because now you don't trust him.
Right.
And you don't trust him because you think he's either disorganized or his hands are too full or whatever it is, because you're hearing about 2 girls, 2 boys, and then all of a sudden you're hearing about, hasn't had the baby yet, and then you're like, what are you talking about? We bought a particular pup, and then you said you have an audio. What is the audio of?
The voicemail is wanting to confirm with me
Play it.
that we really
it.
don't want the
Play it.
dog and that he will give us our money back.
Cora, if you could give me a call, this is Philip Sava here. I have one female puppy, and evidently you don't want it. So if you want to make an arrangement, that's fine with me to get your money back. I just can't do it right at this exact moment. Bye-bye.
Okay, so why did you change your mind?
Honestly, we'd never give money back, and because of my...
But
I agree.
How am I
I'm
going
not
to
gonna
believe you
argue.
or my lion ears? I mean, why
I never knew I made that voicemail until I saw it in their complaint. No, quite honestly.
But that is you, right?
That is me.
Okay, you have a countersuit against them for $5,000. For what?
Well, they're going around and saying that I'm not a reputable breeder. And this doesn't
That you're the
correct.
kind of guy who would sell a dog for Cloud9, not be able to deliver, tell them you're going to give them their money back and not? Right?
Okay, listen, all right. The fact is that the dog they saw that they think is Cloud9 is the grandmother of the puppies, okay? They didn't see, Cloud9 has no training whatsoever. What they saw was the mother of Cloud9, grandmother of those puppies. But she was also the grandmother of Hurricane's puppies.
Okay, and according to you, he's showing you Cloud9 and
Yes.
saying, this pregnant dog, look how well behaved
Right.
she is, and
He-
that's
Well,
the
she
dog.
is well behaved. Every single dog we have well behaved.
I don't really care whether the dog's well behaved or not.
Okay.
This is a contracts case, okay? And in a contracts case, I have to decide whether or not they had a contract for a specific dog or didn't, whether they have a right to have a specific dog.
Well-
When you say to me, we never return money, it's always whatever pup they get, that's fine if you could prove a single thing you're saying.
Right.
Not only can you not prove a single
Well,
thing
I
you're
can
saying,
certainly
it's
prove it.
the
We've had
opposite of
emails from
stop
people, but
talking.
I
Stop
don't-
talking and listen. It's the opposite of what you're saying because they've got you on tape actually telling them you're going to give them their money back. You had a crisis,
I agree.
but the crisis is your crisis. It's not theirs.
That's
on
right.
your counterclaim, 0, and on your claim against him, $1,200. Verdict for the plaintiffs.
Well, here comes the defendant. He's got his stuff together. Come on in here. What's going through your mind here after losing this case like that?
Well, you know, they have a point. They won. You're right. I didn't
How's this going to impact your business?
It's going to cost money because I've already had people just yesterday call me up and say, oh, well, we heard about you. And so when people talk, especially when you get to dogs and pets, you know what I mean? All kinds of things can be said.
Well, good luck. All right. Head right down this way. Okay. All right. So come on in here. You satisfied how this comes out now?
Yes, we're very satisfied.
Right decision. You still don't have a dog, though, right? Or do you now?
We searched another breeder. We found a reputable breeder, and we actually do have a 5-month Airedale at home.
All right. You like the Airedale? Guys, you like the Airedale?
Yeah, she's really great.
All right, cool.
It's
well-trained?
Yeah, well, we're getting there. She's still a little puppy.
But not trained yet, right?
And this breeder told us that anytime, 2-3 months after we get it, bring it back. If it's just not working out, you'll get your money back.
The new breeder said that.
Breeder.
They all say that. Harvey?
Okay, true enough, the plaintiff won here, but I got to tell you, the more specific you can be in a contract, the better off you're going to be. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month, even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending, 0 tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
This is the plaintiff, Shoshana Pussy. She says the defendant, her ex-boyfriend, borrowed money from her and now won't pay it back. The guy's nothing more than a user who got what he wanted, and then that was that. But she's not the type to just stand by and be a patsy. So she's suing him for the $900 she's owed. This is the defendant, Caden Daniels. He says he never asked the plaintiff for any money. She gave it to him, because that's what people do when they're dating. Besides, things just couldn't work out between them because she was still married while they were together, and she decided to go back to her husband. Bottom line, the money was a gift. He's accused of using a woman for personal gain.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Shoshana Pussy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you are suing Caden Daniels for $900 that you say he owes you from a loan that you made to him when you were dating and he refuses to repay. Tell me what's going on.
Okay, well, I met Mr. Daniels through a mutual friend about in 2003, 2004. Our friendship was like on and off, and then we started dating in 2010. It didn't last for very long.
Were you long distance dating?
Yes, ma'am.
You lived where?
In Atlanta.
And he lived?
In New York.
Okay. So that's hard to date. That's geographically. People from what borough do you live in? Right. It's hard enough to get from Queens to Manhattan, but Atlanta, okay.
And I would occasionally, visit him.
I take it wasn't exclusive, or it was exclusive?
It was.
Okay, so you were dating exclusively for how long?
A couple months.
Couple months. And
because I really don't know when the relationship ended, because it was no.
It fizzled. It didn't end.
Basically.
All right. And how were you dating exclusively?
Basically, but all right.
Unless you didn't wanna. What does that mean? Like, was she your girlfriend, your only girlfriend, or wasn't that serious?
All right. When I just started going out with her, I just came out of a relationship.
Okay.
Right. But she just came around out of nowhere. I went on my MySpace one day, and I saw her send me her number. So I called her, and when I called her, that's how we started talking again.
But I
after
understand.
all this
But were
time.
you dating her exclusively at some point after that, or no, never?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I would say yes.
Not that convincing.
It's because
it took you 5 minutes to say yes.
Because I was.
All right. In any event, so you're dating, and then what happens?
Okay, December of 2010, I went to New York. Well, I came to New York to visit, and then we were going back and forth about getting an account because he's a DJ, and he didn't have an account. So I was like, okay, his green card expired, so of course, in order to open an account, you have to have a valid form of ID. So I was like, well, I'll add a checking account under my name, which I did. occasionally he would ask, you know, can I get $10? Can I get $20?
Well, I'm not understanding. What, you opened up a checking account for him under your name?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Because instead of, when I would give him money, instead of me going to Western Union to pay.
Why do you have to give him money? That's the part you assume and I question. Why do you have to give him money? Why can't he support himself? I don't get it. What's going on? Why is that part of, you got to pay to play? What's your deal?
Guess that's just how I am. That's just the type of person, whether it's a boyfriend or a friend.
Do you have children?
No, ma'am. It's just, I'm just that type of a person. My mom always gets on me like, you know, your friends use you. You know, the only time they know you are when they want stuff. But I don't know why it's hard for me to say no.
Try it. Try it. Just say no.
So she stupidly opens a checking account in her name for him. Was this a loan or a gift?
It was a gift.
You say why?
Well, if she was that stupid, that's what happened.
So that's what happens when you're stupid? Sir?
Yes, I think she was stupid to do that.
Was she
trying to buying love?
Was she buying his love?
Yes, she was.
Stupid to buy somebody's love?
Very stupid.
Can you ever buy somebody's love?
No, you cannot.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
So now, tell me about the account your girlfriend opens in your name to make it, because God forbid that you drive or make your way to Western Union for the money that she's bestowing upon you. We got to make it totally convenient to take the money. Talk to me about that.
I wasn't working, all right? My green card expired. I wasn't working. I was just doing my music, right?
What's your music?
I'm a reggae artist, you know.
What does that mean when you're doing your music? Aren't you getting paid to do your music?
No, this is it. I'm constantly recording. I'm constantly in the studio recording, trying to progress in my music more.
Okay.
All right. She opened an account because she normally, as she said, she would give. I wasn't working, nothing. She's the type of girl, honestly, she really likes to give stuff. She would call me and she would be like, I'm at the store, I see something, and I know that you would like it, and I'm going to get it for you. So she opened an account, then all right, before she gave, when she gave me the card, she was just putting like $20 in the account. You get me? To just get something, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I got locked up, right? She wasn't here.
What'd you get locked up for?
Some weed, you know, selling weed. But
this is so funny. Okay, some weed. How much is some weed?
It's like a pound or something. Like, I don't know.
And what happened to you?
I got locked up. I had my bail, right? I had to pay $1,000, right? I gave my ex girl, when I just met her, the relationship that I came out of, right? My ex girl now, me and her family, we cool and everything. They're the one that got me out, right?
Okay.
Okay, then I came back now. She was looking for me everywhere.
Is that charge pending right now? Do you still have to go to court on that charge?
No.
It got resolved?
Yeah.
So your ex-girlfriend's family gets you out, and then what?
And so then I called her, and I have to explain to her now what happened. So I explained to her what happened, and her response was like, "Well, I don't want your ex-girl to be and her family to be doing stuff for you like that, because her, like, if you know her, she's the type, like, she would tell me she loves me, and if I don't tell her I love her, she would be mad." You get what I'm saying?
Well, most girls are the type.
No, but this is it. I don't think you should let me grow into you. The wrong thing I did was not tell her, like, yo, I'm not ready for this to be that serious. You get? But when I was with her and she started getting clingy, and I was like, oh, I love you, and I'm like, damn, I can't tell you I love you unless I do. She just like get mad, just start flipping. So I'm like, all right then.
Then what? Then I love you?
No.
Okay.
No, everything I just felt like, yo, this is not gonna work. Where she was married and all of that. She was.
Wait, she was married during all this?
She was married. She said
you
she
were
was
married
gonna.
During all this?
She was gonna.
I had a divorce.
She would say the same thing.
All right, so how did the 900 come up then? Because she didn't want your ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, she didn't want them to pay it. So she was like, she's gonna give it to me to give it back to them.
Did you?
Yes, and this is it. She gave me, when she was telling me she was gonna give me, I was telling her she don't have to do it.
Okay.
But as I said, she is.
But was it your understanding that $900 was a gift, or that $900 was something you were gonna pay back?
It wasn't a gift. My thing was that, you see, if I get some money, I would probably give you half of the money. That's what it was.
Okay, I don't understand. Are you supposed to pay it all? Are you supposed to pay half? Are you supposed to pay zero?
No, I'm trying to show you. There was no agreement, nothing. We was just talking, and I said to her, I would give you, like, if I get some half of the money, I'll give it back to you just to take the pressure off of you. You get what I'm?
But it was a gift?
Yes, it was.
If you chose not to do anything about it, you didn't have to do anything.
It was nothing. You get me?
Because she never said to you that you had to do anything.
It's like after that, it's like months after now, she gave me the $900. We still together. That's to show you I never left her because I wanted no $900. I left her because while we was together, she became clingy.
Why don't you just be honest and tell her, look, this isn't going to work out? According to her, you never even broke up with her.
No, that's why I said this. That's the mistake that I made. Not telling her that I don't want to, because she gets hurt real easy. And honestly, her last boyfriend, when she got hurt, she ended up in the hospital. She got sick and all of that. When I left, then she would call my mother house, my sister, and them calling me. You need to call Zay. Zay's looking for you. I'm like, yo, honestly, I don't want to talk to her. I don't know how to tell her I don't want to be with her. But she knows that.
You're a grown man. Figure it out. Figure out how to tell somebody you don't want to be with them.
I told a lot of girls.
Particularly if you figured out how to have a girl put a bank account in your name and funnel you money, then you were a big enough boy to take the consequence. Stop talking. To just say to somebody, hey, it isn't going to work out. It's just ridiculous. It's just that it's easier for you to just ignore her, and that's really cruel. You're right. That was your mistake. That's a huge mistake because people shouldn't treat each other that way. Now you. I have no idea why you behave the way you behave. You are a perfectly lovely young lady, appearance-wise. I have no idea what has happened in your brain to mess things up there enough to think that your self-worth is completely dependent upon other people. Why won't you work on you? Use that same money that you seem to be bestowing on friends and boyfriends for therapy to figure out how it is that you can make yourself whole so that you don't think you need other people's approval, and that not only do you need their approval, but you gotta buy it, because it's really quite sad. I believe him when he says there were zero strings attached to the money. If you wanted it to be a loan, then you should have differentiated it from all the other money you funnel his way. And and don't expect to get paid back. Because when I have a situation where someone has actually set up an account to be able to rain money on somebody, you have a very hard time telling me that you don't just want it back now because he's ignoring you. Very hard time. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
I have something to say, Judge.
I'm sure you do. Tell the therapist.
Well, as the plaintiff coming out on the losing end here, what did you want to say to the judge at the end of the case right there?
Well, actually, I borrowed the money from my aunt to loan the defendant, and I didn't get that part across. But
well, what's the difference? You still gave money to the... Are you going to seek therapy like the judge recommended?
No, because I don't believe I need therapy.
No? Well, what did he have that you found so irresistible that you had to give him money?
I don't know.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, so come on in here. Why didn't you just tell her that you couldn't have a relationship with her like she wanted?
I mean...
Come on, speak up. Why didn't you tell her?
No, that's the truth, but you see, it was my option to either tell her right there and leave her hurt or just let her just get over it.
Or take the money.
No, I didn't. No.
You know how it looks, right? To people looking
No, it doesn't matter how people look at it. You see, once I know the truth, it nothing matter to me.
Well, the judge believed you that there were no strings attached.
Yeah, because, she a good girl, honestly. But I can't be with a girl that's clingy and attached.
Harvey?
So here's what you got to know. Your conduct in a relationship largely determines whether something is a loan or a gift. In this case, she was so stupid, clearly a gift. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
This is the plaintiff, Margaret Hutchinson. She says she was involved in a car accident, and the defendant's tow company came to retrieve her car from the highway. She told the guy she wanted the car towed to her mom's house in the Bronx, but the guy refused. He told her he had to take it to his shop in Queens, far from where her mom lived. The defendant lied to her just to make money, and she's suing him for the $500 she's out in transportation costs, missed work, and 2 tows. This is the defendant, Vinny Barretto. He says the cops called him to tow the plaintiff's wrecked car off the highway. He didn't do anything wrong. He towed the car to his shop at the direction of the cops on the scene. She has to pay for his services, and that's that. He's accused of towing the line.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Okay, Margaret Hutchinson, you are suing the auto body shop. You've asked us not to mention the shop by name, and we'll respect that. Represented here by Vinny Barretto. You're the manager?
Correct.
Okay. For $500, the cost of 2 tows, cab fare, and a missed day from work, because according to you, they inappropriately towed your car to a location you did not want, correct?
Correct.
What happened?
On Saturday, April 14th, my family and I were on a outing in Manhattan. On our way home, unfortunately, we were involved in a car accident. Thank God.
And where's home?
Bronx, New York.
Okay.
Thank God that no one was hurt.
Whose fault was the accident?
It wasn't my fault.
Okay.
I rear-ended.
How many cars?
Just 2.
Okay. You rear-ended somebody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The police on the scene from the 18th precinct in Manhattan off the West Side Highway notified the defendant to come and remove the vehicles from off the highway.
Okay.
When the defendant, Alvin, arrived with his tow truck, I was on the phone with my insurance company arranging for my vehicle to be towed because the officers on the scene stated that I could not drive the vehicle off. Mr. Alvin came up to me. I was in my car on the phone with my insurance company. He said to me, "I'm here to tow your car." I said, "Give me a second. I'm on the phone with my insurance company arranging a tow." He said, "It doesn't matter. His company is the only one allowed to tow the vehicle from the scene."
Okay, first of all, is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because it's the highway?
No, because it's when in the city of New York, there's a program called DARP, and that's directed
DARP.
Yes, ma'am. Accident Response Program. And this is a system that the city instills.
It's a rotation list, and
yes,
you were next
exactly.
up. But that means that if I get into an accident on that highway or anywhere in Manhattan,
anywhere in the city of New York,
anywhere in the city, I can't arrange for my insurance company to get their own tow truck.
Correct,
it has to be the next person up on the list that
yes,
the city says it has to be.
That is correct. You have to respond within half an hour.
Okay, but the issue that we have in this case is where the car gets towed to. So, what is it that you say happens?
The gentleman came to me with the paperwork. He said, "I have to tow the vehicle." I said, "No problem." After he explained to me that he was the only one that could tow it, I confirmed with the officers on the scene.
Just a second. Is that the driver?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Come on up. Okay. So go ahead.
He came up to me with the paperwork. He said, "You have to sign this. I have to tow the vehicle." I said, "Okay, no problem." I said, "Where are you going to tow it?" He said, "To Queens." I said, "No, I have a place in the Bronx where I'm from to tow the vehicle." He says, "No, ma'am, I have to tow the vehicle to my facility out in Queens." I said to him, "I know nothing of Queens. I don't know how to get to Queens. How am I going to get home from here?" At that point, my family, a friend had came and transported my family home. I was by myself on the West Side Highway. He said, "I don't know how you're going to get home. Take a cab." I proceeded to sign the paper because I was so distraught.
Did you read the paper before you signed?
No, I did not, ma'am.
Why not? It's one little page. Can I see the paper? Can I see your copy too? I want to make sure we're looking at the same thing.
At that point, Your Honor.
Just a second. There's a line right there that says, "I directed the vehicle be towed to the following location," and you can fill out where you want it to be towed. Right?
Correct.
Okay. Do you give people a right to say where they want their car to be towed, or must it be towed to the facility?
No, it depends on the situation. If the driver is present, then normally, yes, they can direct where it goes.
So let me hear from you. What happened?
I responded on the scene, Your Honor.
after I spoke to her, I explained the situation to her, she still did not want me to tow the vehicle. She said
She what?
She did not want me to tow the vehicle.
Okay.
She said her insurance was coming to get the vehicle.
Okay.
So I told the officer, I said, she's refusing for me to tow the vehicle. You want to explain the situation to her?
Okay.
That's when the officer went up to her and explained it to her. He's going to tow the vehicle. I said, in the situation here, I'm taking the vehicle to Queens because I don't want to have a problem when I go to the destination, wherever you want me to go. If I go over there and I have a problem, I have to call back the cops again to resolve the problem.
So what I hear you saying is that you decided to take it to Queens because she was so difficult.
She wasn't.
But she had told you she wanted you to take it to the Bronx.
After the cops instructed that.
And before you towed it, she told you she wanted you to take it to the Bronx. It's just that you're now worried that she's so difficult that you don't want to release the car to her because now you're worried she's not going to pay because she has to pay you if you release it to the Bronx.
Yes, sir.
How is that then giving her the ability to tow it to where she wants to tow it? Because she still has that right for you to tow it to where she wants to tow it.
Man, John, at the scene, he's omitting to say the officer himself had stated that Ms. Hutchinson was being non-compliant, and he directed my driver to tow it to Queens.
Prove that.
So does this customer have a right to direct the tow truck driver on where it's to be towed, or can the driver say, look, I'm towing it to my lot, that's the way we do it?
If she paid for it, she ordered it, she can have it towed to where she wants it.
You buying that?
Yeah, she should have it towed to where she wants to. It wasn't her fault.
But the guy says the cops told him to tow it to their lot.
No, but she needs it towed to a specific location, so they need to do that. She's paying.
They need to do what she asked them to do. Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
No, we tried to subpoena the officer. Well,
How about a police report? Or a statement from the officer or something to buttress what you're saying, because the problem is we have a swearing match now. And we have an unusual situation, right?
Yes,
like this isn't normally what happens. Now, according to you, it gets towed to Queens, and what happens then?
I actually caught a cab from off 11th Avenue and 57th Street and went home. I made a couple of phone calls to friends, and I got in touch with a tow truck company. The second statement that you have, he came to pick me up from my home, to take me to Queens to pick up my vehicle, and then bring me back to the Bronx.
Same day, you hired a second tow truck company?
Yes, ma'am.
Drove to Queens in the tow truck?
Yes, ma'am.
Hitched your car up from their place?
Correct.
And then towed it where?
To an auto body shop in the Bronx.
And let me see the receipts for that one. So now they charged you how much?
$195.
$195, all right. And then the second company charged you $225.
Correct.
Explain the $195 charge, because I am confused about that as well.
The $195 is the $125 for the initial hookup, $4 per mile, and a tow.
This is the document you give her. In the document you give her, when I turn it around, it says tow to towing company's storage facility, including mileage, plus storage for first calendar day, $80. That means that the tow and the storage is $80. Tow without the storage, you charged her $125. Why?
Well, Your Honor, that tow form that she was given is out of date.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate for you. All right, now, the next thing I have a question about is $4 each mile or part thereof if towed to other than tow company's storage facility. So it should be, and then it says there $28. Why, if you're towing it to the tow company's facility, why did you additionally charge her $28? That's not right either, right?
No, that's incorrect.
Okay. Now, how do you figure, though, that they should pay for your cab, which you would have had to take a cab somewhere anyway, right?
If he had towed my vehicle to the Bronx.
Your mother's?
Correct. Usually, I'm able to travel with my vehicle.
Is that, do you normally, like, have as in the passenger seat the person, or just if they're not being difficult?
No, it's...
Go ahead.
Usually, it's up to discretion, because if, let's say, God forbid, something should happen on the way over there, then that's also another liability you have in the vehicle at the same time. Which
so it's just sort of like if the person's being nice and was she not being nice, or was she just trying to stall for time?
She was being uncooperative with me.
But how long was she sitting in the car and not willing to move?
Well, for the time I was there, for at least 15 minutes, I would say.
And what was she doing? She was just on the phone talking to her insurance company?
Yes. So that's why I had to get the cop involved and let her know.
But what was the big deal? It sounds like all she needed was an officer to say that you were right, that you have to be able to tow it and not wait for her company. Once the officer told her that, was there a big deal formed after that?
Yeah, she did not want to sign the tow slip.
But she did sign it.
After the officer told her that he's going to sign it.
So why couldn't you just take it to Queens after that? Because you were worried you wouldn't get paid. And then you're suing for both tows, cab fare and missed day of work, so your tow should be completely free. You shouldn't have to pay anything.
Yes,
That's not right, is it?
You need to teach them a lesson.
Okay, why don't I just get out and beat them with my gavel? That'll teach them a lesson. But, you know, I mean, I'm going to teach them a lesson. They're going to lose in a certain form, but it's still my job to do it right and not just do what I feel like doing. Okay, it has to have some semblance of common sense and reason. All right. Okay, here's what I think is appropriate. I don't think that under the circumstances you described, you have a right to decide that somebody has to have their car towed to your particular auto body repair shop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that you're entitled to what would be appropriate, which would have been if you had towed it, because I don't think that it should be free for you, that if you had towed it to where she instructed it for it to be towed, which would have been her mother's house. So what I've done is I've calculated what that would have been if things had gone the way they should. The tow should have cost you to your mother's house $169.19 with tolls, tax, and going to a location other than the auto body repair shop. You ended up paying between fixing the problem by getting the second tow and being overcharged by them to take it to their place. More than that, you ended up paying a total of $420. So anything over what I feel you should have paid, which is $169.19, I'm going to order them to pay you, and that's $250.81. I am not going to order them to pay you cab fare, because cab fare somewhere is something you were going to have to do. It actually would have been more, because they don't have to give you a ride, and I'm not going to order them for the missed day of work. So I find in favor of the plaintiff in this case in the amount of $250.81. That's how much extra tow bills you had. Got it? Good luck, folks.
So the plaintiff does recover some of what she sued for. So come on out here, the tow guy. What's your reaction to the verdict of the judge here?
Not all that pleased. You know, I submitted copies of the correct amount for the tow.
What are you doing, giving her out-of-date paperwork and then charging her another amount?
Well,
How can you do that?
Well, it was busy that day and we ran out of tows. What am I supposed to do? Tell the officer I can't go up to the tow because I have no paperwork?
Tough job, huh? It's a tough job out on the highways.
It's either get charged $1,500 for not showing up or have to deal with something like this.
All right. Understand that. All right. Head right out this way. All right. So he didn't get charged $1,500, but he did lose a case in court. Are you satisfied with what you got out of this?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Well, what happened out there? Why?
He lied. I wasn't being difficult. I told him to give me a minute. Let me speak to my insurance company to arrange something. And he just lied.
You weren't just a ticked-off driver who had just been in an accident and was stressed out and upset?
No, I was not. I was not ticked off. I was upset due to the accident, but not because of him. He lied.
Harvey.
You know, we deal with lots of companies like tow truck companies, used car dealers. A lot of them are licensed by the state that you live in. And these licensing agencies have a lot of control over their ability to do business. If you're involved in a dispute with a tow truck company, say, they're licensed usually. You can call the licensing agency, and sometimes they can actually mediate these disputes short of having to file a lawsuit in court.
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.